Welcome back for another fabulous recipe of the week with healthycookingonabudget.com. Today we're going to learn how to make simple cinnamon rolls at home. So it's definitely more budget friendly and of course a little healthier too. So for starters, I already made up my bread dough because that's pretty self-explanatory. I did want to say when you roll it out, the more rectangular of a shape, the more even you can get that rectangular shape, the more symmetrical your rolls will turn out. So just a little tip to keep in mind. Now what I'm spreading on here is homemade coconut butter. All this is just simply coconut oil flavored with a little bit of butter salt and some lecithin. So it's very healthy for you. It's a very healthy fat, but it does make the rolls just fantastic. They separate really nicely when they're all rolled up in the little pinwheel. I like to put just a little bit of ground flax on it for that extra bit of a health kick. You all know that flaxseed is very good for you. And then what I do is I just sprinkle as much or as little cinnamon as I feel like right here onto the dough. Now cinnamon actually has quite a number of healthy properties in it. It's good for a number of different things. However, I would like to say that if you have any kind of problems with irritation in your stomach or different things like that, you probably would want to avoid it because it can be an irritant. So as an alternative, you can also use ground coriander and cardamom. Blended those together to make a really nice replacement for cinnamon. So that is an option that you can do. Now for sweetener, you can just lightly drizzle a little bit of honey over the whole thing. You can also use brown sugar if that's more handy for you or you have that. And I find that just a very little amount, if you're using sugar, quarter of a cup or less for this entire thing is plenty sufficient for sweetness. So you can do just a very little amount, sprinkle it over the whole thing, and voila, you're done. So then it comes to the rolling. Again, pretty straightforward. You just want to start the roll, get a nice even roll going on here. And that's where the coconut oil, the coconut butter actually makes it really nice because these rolls separate so easily. So when you go to eat them, you can just peel them off in layers, which is kind of fun. Kind of like those ones from the store. So just roll it up, and then the next step after the rolling is just simply to slice them into the pinwheel shapes. And of course, the more evenly spaced out the slices are, the nicer it will look when they're in the pan because they'll all rise evenly. If you have some that are really thin and others that are thick, of course they're going to turn out quite different once they're baked. So just a couple of things to keep in mind. So I'm going to finish this roll and I'm going to cut them up and I'll show you what it looks like. So here you can see that I'm putting the rolls in the pan. I just wanted to mention briefly what I did in this. I just crushed up a few pecans because I really like pecans on my cinnamon rolls, and put those in the bottom of the pan, and then I just lightly drizzled some agave nectar. Actually, you can use honey or agave nectar, whatever you prefer. Just a very little amount, and it just kind of spreads out and adds a perfect, nice, sweet touch. So that's what I did. And there you have it, the finished product. Don't those look delicious? As always, eat healthy to stay healthy, and come back next week for another fantastic recipe of the week with healthycookingonabudget.com. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button.